So you think you were right? Bring it on, prove me wrong. Go put up a fight. The way I do will knock you down. You know there's emotion between us. Don't cry about it. Don't cry about it. You want me to take you in my trust. Oh no, you know that ain't the way.
Well, hey guys, Captain Dave Schneider. It's a Guide's Life. Here we are, me and Johnny T, getting ready for. Is this the second event, John? Is this the second event, John?
Second event.
This is the second event for the Roland Martin series, and anyway, we're the second to last boat going out today. So the good news is we're going to get to fish about an hour and 15-20 minutes longer than anybody else that goes out on the earlier flights. So that's a good thing. We're supposed to get a little bit of rain this afternoon, and the rain has helped the fishing every day. And so we're hoping for that. We're going to try and get on a morning topwater bite, and we and 150 other boats. So we're going to get after it, see how it goes, man. But this is it. They're letting the boats go here one at a time, and here we go. We'll see you out there.
There's nothing new in this game. You got to give it up, give it up. Give it up, give it up. I'm wearing you out. Keep on keeping on every night. Way up in the clouds.
Guys, we got 4 fish in the live well. John and I have each lost a fish. I hit one. It's not on tape, thank God. But I hit one on a swimming worm down in Harney Pond there, probably about 20 minutes before we left, or a half hour before we left, and it was a beauty. She did all the classic things. You know, sometimes you say, well, how do you know it was a bass? How do you know it was a big fish? Well, I mean, obviously, if you see the fish, you know it's big. But you can feel a fish and know that it's a big fish too. But there's some other characteristics of a big bass, particularly largemouth here on Okeechobee. First thing is, if you're flipping and you get a bite, you need to set the hook as quickly as possible, because a big fish will have moved sometimes as much as 5 or 6 feet. Hey, bud? Yeah. They'll move 5, 6, 8 feet. You'll set the hook and your line will be way over there. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a lot of times that's a big fish.
You ain't gonna get it either.
And a lot of times you're not gonna get to put your hands on it either. But of course the fish, that was kind of what happened on the swimming worm, is the fish had really moved quite a ways, but I couldn't turn his head. He turned and he started pulling drag, and I keep my drag really tight, and it pulled drag, and I think ultimately it turned its head and it just pulled the hook out, and that's going to happen. It was very disappointing. Still not completely over it. But on the upside, I do feel like I've got a place I can take my guests tomorrow. I've got a guide trip tomorrow, and I feel like I've got a place that I can take them for sure, and have them around some big fish. We saw bluegill in that area jumping out of the water. I'm gonna tell you something. When you got bluegill jumping out of the water, you're probably in a pretty good spot. Guys, I don't know if I've ever showed you this. I may have, but I want to show you that. Do you see where I've got my the way I've got my flipping bait here? I've got the O-ring. Do you see the O-ring around its head here? I don't know if you can see that or not. I think you should be able to. But I put an O-ring on here with my O-ring tool, and boy, that really gets you a lot more mileage out of these baits in terms of getting them in and out of the cover a lot more. I'll tell you, one of the primary things that I look for when I'm flipping, if I'm looking for a bait to flip, I just want a bait more than anything that I can get in and out and back in and back out and back in and back out without having to mess with it too much. That's one of the key things for me personally. Guys, I'm going to give you another little tip when it comes to pitching and flipping. And this is a good one. If you're not in control of the trolling motor, you need to make sure that you adjust yourself to whatever pace the guy in control is fishing. If he's not moving real fast, then you would make lots and lots of pitches and lots of flips. You know, it gives you the opportunity, instead of every 15 or 20 feet, you can make multiple casts into an area from different angles and different little holes and stuff to hit. But you always want to take what's in front of you, take what you're being given, instead of, sometimes guys get out of a rhythm, they don't get into a rhythm because they spend too much time thinking, I wish this guy would move quicker, or I wish he'd slow down, and that kind of thing. And the reality is you need to control the things that you have control over. Take care of those things. You don't have control over the boat if another guy's on the trolling motor. So you just take what's there. And that's what I have to say about that. Now, if you're like me and you're standing up here, you just reach over and step on the motor too. Yeah, you guys might have noticed that John uses a lot of gear that I don't use. You know, he's got Humminbird electronics, and of course he's got Minn Kota's talons, and basically, there we go. Oh, baby. Basically, I love to fish with John because it reminds me of just how crappy all that stuff is. And and it helps me to just, feel good that I made the right choices with all that gear. Right, John? Oh, we'll want to say it.
The wind will knock you down. You know there's an ocean between us. Don't